What's the most violent video game you have ever played?
I remember that PS2 game Manhunt. Generated a lot of controversy.
Do you remember how hard was to sneak with the chainsaw?
Soldier of Fortune 2. Edit. You, Goodgold 1987 says, the online multiplayer is still going strong. Link to comment, link.
Such an awesome game. One of the first FPS games I played online. Full dismemberment and independent limb hitboxes blew my mind back then.
Gun. You could scalp people alive.
I need to play that again, that game was sick back in the day. Beating the last boss in that game was a bitch back in the day when I was a kid.
Blade and sorcery by far.
I agree with this completely. I've played plenty of violent games, but slowly driving your dagger into a person's eye while you hold their throat hits very different in VR.
Manhunt.
Exactly my answer too, and I've played tons of violent games. It's not just shocking, it's the snuff film angle that makes the gruesome and brutal violence even worse, with the tense and oppressive atmosphere. There's gorier and nastier games, but they're always either creatures, shock value violence, or chunky gore, most PS2 games. Manhunt is still the most brutal and violent game I've ever played, and I can't see how it can be topped without trying too hard to be edgy. Edit, if I remember right, this was also the first game to use intense violence in the ESRB rating description.
Besides some others already mentioned, Prototype was pretty damn violent.
It's the closest we've had to a Venom game. I'm still hoping we'll get a remake, spiritual sequel sometime, because I'd like to go around making mush of random NPCs. Till, I had no idea what Ultimate Spider-Man was. Carmageddon.
Carmageddon was awesome. Besides killing everyone on a level, you could also win by wrecking all of the other cars, or winning the race by clearing all the checkpoints first. Some of the maps were huge, and you could explore anywhere. Was endless fun. You can download the original game as an app for your phone.
For those who remember Thrill Kill on PS1, I think it was really violent.
Lee Carvalho's Putting Challenge.
Postal. Pissing on someone while suffering from gonorrhea, causing them to puke. Then samurai sword their head off and watch the barf come out their necks. Good times for 13-year-old me.
Probably Dead Space.
Those babies in the second one was super dark.
Roller Coaster Tycoon. So many angry customers picked up and drowned. Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 has an honorable mention just because the game will let you open any waterslide as long as the dummy makes it to a pool. Even if it gets launched 500 feet away and lands in a 1x1 pool, which many of the customers will miss.
I want to get off Mr. Bones' wild ride. Mortal Kombat.
There's more violent games out there, but none of them can lay claim to leading to the creation of ratings for video games like MK can. RimWorld.
RDR2, if you play it right.
It's scary how much lifelike these NPCs are. Like in GTA V I Am a Psycho, but in RDR2 it's just effing sad when you see someone getting killed.
Doom Eternal.
I'm surprised I had to scroll so far down for this. The tagline is literally, rip and tear until it is done. Every organ and splinter of bone is fully rendered and visible during every chainsaw dismemberment, skull crush, bomb blast, etc. If you go more than 10 seconds without at least a little bit of gore on screen, you're probably playing it wrong.
Nice try, Mum.
My mum told us when we were really young that we weren't allowed to have video games due to the violence. Then at one point we were suddenly given Game Boys for Christmas, with Killer Instinct included. I just wanted Mario, and she surprisingly didn't care. Turned out the whole violence thing was an excuse so she didn't have to tell us we were too poor to get them before, and her position morphed into the more rational, well, if you can pull together the $400 for a console, game, and RF switch, we'll go right down to Walmart and get an N64, but until then you're out of luck. In a scheme to turn disposable cameras into handheld shockers and sell them, this was the 90s, I managed to get most of the money together really quick and did get my N64, and my grades dropped consistently from that point on.
Spec Ops: The Line. This one quite effed me up when I got through it. Like, not its visuals, or gameplay, but the thing that this game do with you, pretty violent, if you ask me.
I think people are mistaking violent with gory. This game was exceptionally violent because nothing prepares you for the emotional aftermath of your actions. I mean, it's a third-person shooter that reminds you that you are responsible for the lives and deaths of others. Both good and bad. It effing brilliant, and to be honest, is probably one of the most thoughtfully violent games ever invented.
If Hotline Miami 1 or 2 came out in the 90s, in line with its retro graphics, it would have shut down the video game industry. Edit. By the way, these are must-play games and have the best soundtracks in gaming history too. Edit 2. To me it was best ever. I get it's subjective and many people find other soundtracks better. Both soundtracks are certainly S tier in video gaming history though. Chess Online Hot Face.
Thank you for watching. We upload new videos every day, so be sure to come back for more fun. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed the video.